Whether it is on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or even TikTok, criticism hurts, and it is everywhere. Hey there, my name is Angela. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if at any moment you think, hey, I like this chick, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as well. It lets me know that I'm producing something that's worth listening to. So personally, when I had my Instagram set as a fitness page, I would get a lot more criticism than I do now. And that criticism would usually be in the comment section of another person's post. So if I responded to a post, I would get response to that comment in the form of men telling me that I was stupid and that I'm just posting stuff for other men to look at me and stuff like that. And it was very hurtful, and I did let it get under my skin for a while, and it would really piss me off. But eventually I kind of took a step back and started asking myself these questions, and that's how I moved past it and how I continue to move past it when I run into an instance where someone is criticizing me online or even in person, to be honest. I think being online makes the situation worse just because it's kind of anonymous. People can hide behind keyboards, so usually they're more willing to hurt someone. And that's just the reality we live in. Welcome to 2020, folks. So the questions I would ask myself. The first one would be, is it constructive criticism? Because if it's not constructive criticism, that right there is a red flag to just disregard it, ignore it. If it's not constructive, it's usually not helpful. But if it is constructive criticism, a good trait to have is to be able to receive constructive criticism well. So if you get a comment on a post that's like, hey, your information is wrong, if they're fact checking you, then that adds to your bank of information, and you should actually thank them, especially if they do it in a nice way. When I had my fitness page, I remember one time where I got a comment that just said, bad form. Didn't explain anything, didn't tell me what exercise they were talking about, just straight up said bad form. And that did not help me. And someone actually responded to them saying, hey, maybe that's not the way to go about it. And then they told me like, hey, this is what you're doing wrong, this is what you can do to improve. And I appreciated that. I appreciated that person over the first person that just straight up said bad form. No explanation. That was kind of like criticism, yes, constructive, almost, but not quite. So that's what I mean by constructive criticism versus non-constructive criticism. Moving on to the second question, this has to do with if the criticism is constructive. Ask yourself, do I want this person's life? And what I mean by this is if they're criticizing your work in some way and they have no association with the industry you're working in, then maybe they're not the best person to take advice from. But if they are criticizing you and they have an experience in the industry that is above yours, or they seem like a trusted source, then they might be worth listening to. So a question I like to ask myself is, would I want this person's life? As in, am I trying to move towards what this person is achieving right now? Or are they just some random person that's trying to tell me something and educate me on something that they actually have no clue about? Because that's the thing about the internet, is anyone can give their opinions, but not everyone needs the experience to back it up. So that's another thing to consider. And if this person is trying to give you constructive criticism, but they really have no association with whatever you're trying to do, don't attack them for it. Just let them be. That's one thing about the internet, is there's so many fights in comment sections that it's ridiculous. So rather than being rude to someone who probably has good intentions in trying to give you some kind of help, then just ignore them or tell them, cool, thanks, but you know what you're gonna do. and that's all that really matters. The third question is applicable if the criticism is not constructive, because usually if it's not constructive, it tends to be a personal attack on who you are as a person or what you stand for. And the question I like to ask is, does this person know me? Because usually when a random stranger tells you how horrible of a person you are online, they don't know who you really are. And if you really feel unsettled by what they say and you think there may be some truth lying in it, ask people who are closest to you what they think about that and hear their opinions, because those are the people that are worth listening to. But you shouldn't let some random stranger tell you who you are. You should know who you are and carry on with that. This last question is what helps me not get pissed off. And that question is, do I know what they're going through? Usually the answer is no. I have no idea what this person is going through. So if they're being mean to me, for all I know, their boss yelled at them earlier today, or their girlfriend broke up with them, or their puppy died. I don't know. They could have been having a horrible day, and all I see is the ugly side of them that they're releasing into the internet because they have no outlet in the real world to do it. And this question just makes me feel better overall, because it gives me the idea that what they're saying has nothing to do with me and says more about them. And that actually really prevents me from getting really pissed off and angry and responding angrily. So those are the 4 questions I asked myself, and moving forward, I would like you to also apply these in a vice versa scenario. So when you're making a comment on someone's post, think to yourself, is this constructive? Do I know this person? Do they know me? Do they know what I'm going through? And usually if you are not being constructive and you're saying something personal to someone you do not know, it's not anything positive. And just being aware of yourself and the things you put out there is what's gonna make the internet a better place, because there are some dark parts of comment sections. And if you receive some kind of hate comment or angry replies or anything like that, consider these questions and think about them before you hit that reply button, because they might save you from just being very angry, because no one really wants to be angry. And that is all I have for you today. I hope this video helps you out. If it did, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are new here. My name is Angela. Until next time, bye.